From the high plains of the Midwest, I bid you good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever your time zone might be. My nod to the late and great Art Bell. I'm Keith Sharp.
And I'm G. Drussel.
And we welcome you to Life After Life, a paranormal webcast where we talk about the paranormal, UFOs, or the unexplained. And the biggest question of them all, what happens when we die? Stay tuned.
Hey, hello everybody. Sorry about the, we're always late, right?
Yeah, that was perfect.
So, yeah, we're not really much late.
Are we choppy? Is our voice choppy?
God.
Does it sound like we're underwater?
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing. Let us know if it sounds like we're underwater.
We're a little bit better every time.
We do. I'm going to wait until I see some people saying, hey, it sounds okay. The delay is it's more than usual. Isn't that weird?
It's been an odd day. That's for sure.
It has been. Okay.
Mr. Anderson in the chat tonight.
Yeah, and big shout out to Georgina Stoker.
Thank you, Georgina.
Thank you so much. You're awesome. You gave us $5, and we're going to put that towards a chair for this guy.
Yeah.
Georgina, you rock. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And let's see who we have in the chat room.
Say cheers to Mona.
Mona's here, of course. All right. Randy's out there. Hello, Randy.
Mel.
And Mel. Is Mel out there? I don't see her.
Yep, she's in there.
Hey, Mel's up. And Garrett. There you are, Garrett.
Garrett Bear.
Like 3 times. What's the 3, 2, 1? Oh, yeah.
I was like
coming
starting
on.
in 3,
2, 1. All
down,
right.
down.
James Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
All right. So can you guys, I don't know if you, and I haven't had a chance, Pam, can they hear the chat? Have they answered?
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah, the problem we had is I put a little slideshow together to show you this creep and his home and some weird things that he has going on. And it's not a whole lot, but it was enough. I thought it was important for the show.
Sure.
Okay, so how was your weekend?
I don't even remember what I did this weekend.
Seriously.
Oh, it was Mother's Day. It was great. Happy Mother's Day,
I
Pamela.
hope Cassidy's not watching.
She had a good Mother's Day.
Did she?
Yeah.
Did she?
Did you have a good Mother's Day, Pamela?
Pam did not. Tell them what you did, Pam.
God.
I worked.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I worked on Mother's Day, but it's not Father's Day, so.
Pam's the boss, so she gets like if someone calls in, she has to go in
For
at
sure.
like 12 at night till she comes back at 8 in the morning. It's horrible.
Hey, were you at the location that we might be investigating soon?
Yes, I was.
Do you ever get like weird feelings in there or no?
No, not really. It was a little different. Sunday night, it was pretty quiet, but there are a couple of people that are up most of the night.
Okay, got you.
And they actually had remarkably good nights for.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good for everybody.
Even for being up, there's always some challenges with
For sure.
a couple of them.
Oh, definitely, for sure.
But yeah, they actually had a pretty good night.
Hey, on the Instagram, the video that Scott sent it, right? Yeah, those videos were getting some good responses.
Cool.
Yeah, I need to get those so you guys can see them too. What they're talking about is, for some of you guys who just showed up, is about 3 weeks ago we talked about doing an investigation at this nursing center, and they supposedly have some ghost things going on out there. And Pam's boss, who's the administrator out there, I shouldn't say nursing home, right? It's the retirement
Residential community.
Thank
Yes,
you. I
it's a
get in
residential
trouble. I get
community.
scolded every time
Yeah.
I say that wrong. But he has some really good paranormal video of like stuff flying off the
Dude,
shelf.
the phone coming off the shelf in the kitchen.
Yeah, very strange. But we're planning on doing a live investigation there, and as we get closer, we'll let you know. Hey, Sassy Cat from Canada, thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, eh?
Hey, so Delphi, once again.
Here we go. We're back.
Let the madness begin.
We are back. Hey, just preface by saying we are not detectives and or experts, and never said we are.
That's right.
Okay, I said it.
No, he's just saying that for all the
Delphi.
Delphi haters out there who like to troll around
God bless.
and tell you every time you make a mistake on
Pretty fun
a
doing
date
that. Those
or
yeah, we had some really interesting conversations. Met a lot of interesting people.
we did,
Pushed the
and
conversation forward.
the Matt Sullivan and Anthony Greeno meeting was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Super interesting.
So-
We also need to address this real quickly.
we do.
Candy Lee Stone.
Yeah.
Candy Lee Stone.
Candy Lee Stone, she won the contest last week. We gave away a free reading. We gave her 2 different email addresses to give us her contact info, which we have not received yet. So Candy Lee, if you're out there, I'm trying to think of how you can. I don't know. I'd just send it to you, but I'm not sure you don't want to put your address in the chat
Yeah.
room. So maybe call me after the show. If you can write down 205-730-6441, Candy Lee, call me, and I'll get your address and I'll mail that out to you.
Absolutely.
We do, because I don't want you to lose your prize. That's a $200 gift certificate.
And it's legit.
Yeah, and the guy's really, really good. Okay, are we ready for
Man.
this?
Yeah, I got here 2 hours early.
Yeah, I
got
gotta say, this is one of the most interesting cases out there, but the most frustrating case out there at the same time.
Agreed.
It's just, like we went over before, the video, audio of this guy. We're in over 4 years, and
We're in the dark on a lot
They
of
don't-
the.
they don't have a suspect. But this new guy's very interesting. I know a lot of the Delphi YouTubers are already saying, he didn't do it. But how do they know?
They don't.
They don't.
Hell,
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah.
But it's okay for us to talk about it because he's an absolute scumbag.
Oh, well, let's not do that.
He is. The guy we're about to talk about?
Oh. Okay, I thought okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I was talking about before
Yes,
the show.
Yes.
Before the show. Okay.
No. The guy we're about to discuss is an absolute scumbag
Yes,
who's
he
already
is.
had his ass beat in prison and is going to get beat again and again and again.
Yeah, we're referring to James Caldwell, who's arrested. Chadwell. God, I'm so tired.
I just wanted to go ahead and correct you before everybody else did.
No, I'm glad you did. Yeah, and again, some of you people are new. Me and my wife are moving. We've been moving 2 houses. I know you probably don't give a damn. Do a good show, guys.
Well, no, I mean,
but
hey,
it's tired. We've been moving and moving and moving.
well, there are new people in the chat though, and so I think it's important for them if they haven't seen our shows before. This is the platform that we've created.
Yeah,
This
it is.
So we will misspeak sometimes. So whatever.
Yes. Yeah. So I guess let's go down this rabbit hole. But I was going to say the developments. I mean, Garrett and I, like Garrett said, we don't devote ourselves to Delphi. I think it's interesting. I hope they find this monster who did this to these 2 little girls. But so we're not the Greenos and the Gray Hues and the Cats and all those, but I know enough about it we can talk about for sure. But the last time I think we talked about it, which was 4 months ago, something like that.
We spent 10 hours on it.
Somebody anonymously donated $100,000 more, which brought the reward up to $325,000, I believe. Also, another thing that I learned was this DNA they keep talking about that they have. Not sure it's good enough DNA. At most, it's touch DNA.
Right.
And I'll give Gray some props. He said from somebody he had talked to, it came off of, I think he said, Abby's right shoulder or the clothing she was wearing, possibly.
Okay.
And that it's not real good DNA. So that's the thing is without that, and if we have a smudge fingerprint, it's a tough case.
It is.
It's going to be a tough case. So anybody's game, because I mean, beforehand we were saying, well, if they got the DNA, then we know all the suspects we talked about
are out.
Thomas, Bruce, all these guys, they're out because they're all felons. They have had to submit their DNA that had been tested against, the DNA at the crime scene, and no one was arrested. So,
Right.
And the other thing I wanted to mention too, with Thomas Bruce, I know, Cat's real big on that guy, but Garrett and I talked to a district attorney. He said, if there is a man or a woman, somebody in jail who committed a crime, and they find out later that they can prove this person also was involved in a murder,
Right.
he said they wouldn't wait to announce it. He said they would announce it immediately. Number one, it looks good for law enforcement. Number two, it makes the community feel safe. It's like, guys, we got this guy, which I think we talked about maybe the last show.
We did.
But just to let people know. So I don't think it's Thomas Bruce. I don't think they're waiting because he's in a different state and they can't prosecute. Well, he's right about that. He's got to wait. I think he would have to wait to go to his trial, then extradite him back to Indiana.
The process has to take
but
its
they
course,
would be announcing that to the public. Hey, we found Bridge Guy, and you guys are safe because he's sitting in prison.
Right.
So
Now he just has to wait for justice.
Right. So, and then, who was Charles Eldridge he was one of my guys. I really thought he may have done it, but now, if we find out this DNA, it may not be as good as what they think in the fingerprint smudge.
Yeah, but
then it's open ball game again. It could be anybody.
How
It
does
could be
Gray
all of them.
know?
How
does he know?
Well, he got something. Well, no, I'm not.
He doesn't.
Okay, well, he's not. No, but I guess he said his source was really good.
Yeah, I know that there's 50,000 people out there that are scared of him, but at the end of the day, he doesn't. We can't unequivocally say that.
We can't. No,
he can't. I mean, it's impossible.
No, I mean, it's possible, and that's why I wish the police would release a little more, saying yes, we definitely have a good DNA sample. No, we don't have a good.
Well, because I get that point because
I do too, to a point. But
early on, you and I talked a lot about why they can't release a lot of information. Right? They got to hold their cards. They got to have something to work with. But at the same time, like internet sleuths are doing a lot of good work these days.
Right.
And so a little bit of information like that would be able to maybe take somebody like Katz and be like, okay, you're right. So it isn't Thomas Bruce. Okay, we can check that. And he could spend his time maybe looking at somebody else.
Hey, man.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, any YouTuber out there who's spending time on Delphi, good for them.
Absolutely.
Because they're keeping it to the public, So it's, and it probably feels better for the family because their family's not hearing anything from law enforcement.
Right.
But they can watch YouTube. But people that are really trying to help them out. They're passionate about it. They're trying to find out. Matt, all those guys, they're trying to do the best they can. Yeah. I thought Matt would be on here tonight. I really, really did. Matt, dang it, you should be here.
Yeah,
I'd make you call in because I just kind of see like what's on his radar right now.
Yeah. He likes to keep a pulse on everything.
Yeah, because I think some things have changed with him as far as. The Gabe Ellis thing. Right. I don't think he believes it's Gabe Ellis anymore. But, all right.
That was an interesting episode.
So I got to say, guys, I mean, again, you can crucify me, but James Chadwell looks really good for this.
Right.
James Chadwell.
James Chadwell. Yeah, God.
Hey, do you need your glasses?
Yes, I do.
Here you go. You old man.
I don't care. I don't care to embarrass myself in front of everybody. It's okay.
You look good in glasses.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, this Chadwell guy, he looks good. He fits like, we're going to go over some a profile John Kelly put together, and he fits a lot of points, man. And his picture, hey, is pretty close.
Yeah, it's MO.
Yep, MO, same thing. So on April 9th, let's get started with it. On April 19th, 2021, police in Lafayette, Indiana received a report of a missing 9-year-old from a block party. It was said that the neighborhood had pointed the police in the direction of Caldwell's house. So I'm thinking, I read this on the internet. Chadwell, there I go again. I'm sorry.
Famo's got you tonight. Don't
you
worry.
know what?
She's sniping.
It got caught right there and right there.
Yep.
The rest of it's fixed.
Okay.
Hey, I think... Hey, Susie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Susie.
You're awesome. You rock. $5. We got $10 for Garrett's chair.
It's going well. Yeah,
it's going well so far, except for my Caldwell. We'll just call him Caldwell. No, I'm just teasing.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So anyway, before we go on, like I said, the neighborhood pointed the police in the direction of Chadwell's house. So did they know this guy was creep?
Caldwell.
Shut up. Shut up, because I am tired. I'm so tired that I would probably think I screwed up again.
Do you think that they immediately found out who the felons were in that neighborhood?
Well, I mean, you can
Would you do that?
well,
Wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, I mean, well, any neighborhood you can look it up, see who's your. But I'm sure he was obnoxious. He had a lot of TikTok videos where he's outside his house with his damn pit bulls and.
Well, the neighbors
or pit
behind
bull.
him couldn't stand him.
Yeah.
They're like some college kids.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah,
See,
I read
I
that.
had not read that.
They couldn't stand him. They thought he was creepy. That he would always come over and pet their dog without asking and weird stuff. So.
Gotcha. Okay. So anyway, the police asked Chadwell, not Caldwell, don't you, Pam's over there laughing, if he had seen the missing girl. And he replied that yes, she was here, but left a while ago. The police were suspicious of his answer
Obviously.
and asked to search his residence. Chadwell agreed. Now,
He's caught.
yeah, he at this point he's caught. And this kind of, we talked about this a little bit, is, and I hate to even call him murderer smart, but the Delphi guy or bridge guy has been able to evade police capture for 4 years
With his voice and picture being
and Chadwell seems pretty stupid.
dumbass.
Yeah,
Thank God for the girl. obviously,
absolutely.
right?
If nothing else, this guy,
Right.
like you said, this guy's going down for this girl's attempted murder.
Right.
And had the police not showed up, she
would have been murdered.
She wouldn't have made it. So anyway, the police entered Chadwell's basement and found a young naked girl chained with ligature marks on her neck, with bleeding from her eyes, secondary to strangulation, which busted the blood vessels in her eyes. Her eyes were black and blue and swollen. She also had a couple of dog bites on her body. It was later learned that Chadwell had lured the girl into the house by telling her he had a dog and she could come in and pet the dog. She was attacked. This may be alleged. I found this on the internet. I hadn't heard anybody say this, but it said she was attacked when she came in the house, knocked unconscious, and carried to the basement. So,
it sounds like from the condition that she's in, there's still a very real possibility that this could turn to a homicide case.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
She's drinking from a straw.
Yeah, was her larynx crushed? I thought I had read that.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I have done no research, so I only know what you've told me about her condition.
Yeah.
But for a 9-year-old child
Right, for
to
sure.
endure we're talking lifelong scars inside and out.
Yeah,
mental,
definitely,
physical and mental. It's absolutely horrible.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What that poor girl's she's got a lot of therapy ahead of her.
Yeah.
So on April 26, 2021, he was charged with the following. Listen to this. Attempted murder of a level 1 felony, child molestation of a level 1 felony, attempted child molestation level 1 felony, kidnapping level 5 felony, criminal confinement with seriously bodily injury, a level 3 felony, battery resulting in a serious bodily injury, level 5 felony, and habitual offender. Now, I looked up the levels on Indiana's website, and so a level 1 felony carries 20 to 40 years. A level 3 felony is 3 to 16 years, and a level 5 felony is 1 to 6 years. If he got each count, he could be looking at 108 years.
I also read that a habitual offender, felon, it's a habitual offender, and the state, they go ahead and tack on an extra 30 years for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Tack them on there, dude. This guy should be in there for 500 years.
Yeah, when I looked this up and I was adding up the years for each charge, I came up with 108 years, and someone else I'd read said something he was facing maybe 30 years. But I wonder if they were going on the lighter.
And even the habitual side of
Looking
things.
at concurrent sentences versus consecutive.
Right.
or-
Yeah. Yeah, if this guy, as John Kelly said, he's leaving prison in a plastic bag.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. And also, Garrett brought up earlier, I don't know if some of you guys caught it, but he was already in a fight in county and got his ass whooped by somebody. So he's got some injuries. Oh, too bad.
Yeah, poor guy.
This guy had a lot of priors. Lots of priors. December 4th, 2000, criminal recklessness with deadly weapon. December 4th, 2000. That's the same one. Yeah, you can tell how tired I am. September 17th, 2001, possession of a firearm. January 14th, 2003, aggravated assault with intent. In Indiana, now those were South Dakota. Indiana, June 9th, 2016, receiving stolen property. February 18th, 2020 OWI with resisting arrest. October 13th, 2020, convicted of criminal trespassing and criminal mischief. What is criminal mischief, everybody? I haven't looked it up.
Just messing with somebody's property or something.
Yeah.
Just being unorderly.
Yeah. Is there, or could it be voyeurism? Do they, and they may have a separate charge for,
Right.
peeping,
I don't know. I
peeping
would think
toms.
something like that would fall under a sexual
Yeah.
crime, which would carry a more severe penalty.
For peeping Tom, that's voyeurism. I don't think it would. I don't think that's a sexual crime. I think I don't think it is. Pretty sure. I don't know. If you guys out there in the chat know, let us know. Chadwell was on probation, had 2 warrants for his arrest during his attack of the 9-year-old. So he was already, the guy's already in trouble. And the big thing, Carroll County is looking into James Chadwell for the murders of Libby and Abby. So before we go into the forensic files or his profile, so what's your thoughts on? I mean, we've went over a lot of stuff. He looked. Let's kind of go through some of these slides real quick so you guys can see. Now we know the side by sides. I mean, the bridge guy, as bad as that picture is, could be anybody, but you can say, okay, well, yeah, I do see a resemblance there. This is basically the front of his house after he was arrested. Police, I think they spent all night out there going through the house looking for evidence. And there's another picture there. There's another picture of him. People comment on this picture. His hands is in his pockets.
Shoulders slumping.
Shoulders slumping, like the bridge guy had his hands in his pockets, shoulders slumping.
I would also say almost somewhat bow-legged.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Yep.
But I think Chadwell's 5'8".
Okay.
And bridge guy supposedly is 5'8" as well.
Yes.
Okay, now this is another big thing that's going on is these tattoos. He has 2 actually, and this one here, as you notice, I mean, and again, this could be a total coincidence. We don't know, but it sure favors Libby.
So much.
I don't either, but that looks like Liberty German. And the other thing that people were saying, well, he could have had these tattoos before the murders, but that's not the case.
You have a picture of him.
Yeah. This is
okay. So,
hang on, let me move it up a little bit.
that's his left arm.
Yeah.
So the one we were just looking at
was
previously
his right arm. So there's another one here.
He's got 2 girls.
So I don't know if anybody's
Lifeless
compared the picture, this one to Abby or not. Or
They have. I saw it.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so
it's pretty.
here's a picture.
Thank you, Mona. Mona checked. Voyeurism is a sexual offense.
Damn it, Mona. Don't embarrass me in front of my wife.
Damn it, Mona.
I'm just teasing.
Thank you,
Okay,
Mona.
thank you very much, Mona. That's actually good to know. Okay, so this picture of him here, this was taken in 2016, I think, or 17. Yeah. And he has no, actually, I think it was later than that. No, take it back. 2016. You're right.
Yep.
My bad. I will wake up, you guys. I'm sorry. As you can see, there's no girl tat there.
I mean, you can look on his right inner arm and not see.
Yeah. Well, he's so tatted up now. I mean, it's like his arms are covered and those girls are not there. So that kind of gives a little more credence that possibly it is, Libby and Abby on his arms.
Yeah. If you guys can find the pictures and compare side to side, it's pretty.
Yeah.
damning.
Now, here's some bizarre pictures. This is him sitting in a big tire of water surrounded by Barbie dolls.
His jeans.
In his jeans. It's odd.
Drinking a beer.
Drinking a beer.
It is, man. It's strange. I mean, and obviously this doesn't make him a murderer.
No.
But it does
none of these pictures do.
It
But
points to his
mind.
His mind and his personality and maybe even his mental state. Yep.
Yeah. These are the one on the left here is his artwork, and supposedly his one on the right is some demon baby looking dolls. John Kelly brought this up on his website.
Why did John Kelly bring this up though? Do you remember?
He just thought it was bizarre.
Okay.
I mean, I would never buy anything like that. Would you, Pam? Pam might. I don't know.
I might.
Oh my God. No, she wouldn't, guys.
Halloween.
Yeah. Okay, so some of the weird things he says.
Yeah, they're like demonic Teletubbies.
They are delights.
Yeah, that's exactly what they look like. And so just some of his TikToks and his social media, like this one says, "She said I love you. I said you better. I have a roll of duct tape that says you don't have a choice. Just another romantic night."
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no, like a normal. This is what we were talking about before the show.
Right.
Like a normal person doesn't say that,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
and a normal person definitely doesn't post it.
He has kind of a very violent sense of humor and very twisted. Yeah, just like you said, I would never post anything like that. You wouldn't
Nor
do that.
would you say it though, even out loud to like me, like or like a friend, right? Like that's just a bizarre thing to even say. And then
Yeah, I mean, even if we were off camera having a beer, I would never go, "Hey, Garrett, isn't this funny?"
Yeah.
And
when you guys like some of these people follow me on Instagram, maybe the Life After Life page or even my personal page, and they'll know like I really care about what I post. Like because I want people to feel like what I'm feeling. And so for him to have complete disregard for people that would read this and be affected by it shows that he's just an asshole and a weirdo.
Yeah. And again, should we have said innocent until proven guilty? But you know what? We don't have to say that because we know for a fact this guy
Yeah, we don't say that at
tortured
all.
this poor little girl.
Yeah, no, he's screwed.
So even aside of
sorry.
Delphi, just bringing up the part or the point that this guy is just a
outside of
horrible
Delphi,
person.
let's just say he's
And then that's just like we already went through there. So guy's twisted. He's sick. I don't know, man. I go back and forth, like I said. I think when we ended our 5th series, I guess it was.
Yep.
I was leaning towards Charles Eldridge. I was leaning towards 2 people.
You were.
And I was also leaning towards, I also said, well, I just don't know.
Well, we don't. I was
just
leaning towards one person, serial interstate killer that was also tied into Evansdale.
Yeah.
And that was had a lot of time to think and plan and be very specific and smart.
Yeah, I wonder if because someone had mentioned about maybe they're looking into Evansdale with this guy as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that would be,
That would be fantastic.
yeah,
That would be.
that's going to be a harder case to crack, don't you think? Because the
He
body,
would have to admit it, and
right? I mean, they didn't know the cause of death of the Evansdale girl because of the decomposition.
Right,
Thank
yeah.
you. Was so
skeletonized.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was so they didn't. There's not a whole lot of clues.
But the location, like you would almost think, like if he would have had more time or better planning in Delphi, it could have been the same scenario.
Yeah.
But it also, in those cases, it goes towards somebody that knows the area very well, that has, and we talked a lot. I think the words that we used were kill spot. They would have a kill spot that they were able to, and I also still believe that they were lured out there. I don't think it was a crime of opportunity. Like, I still stand by that.
Yeah, I'm not. I thought that way too, and I don't know that I do now. And I just say that because I've been watching a lot, preparing for the show, right?
Yeah.
So
let's relitigate. Like,
so,
why don't you think that?
Well, there could be a chance that we don't know. He could have been out at the Monon High Bridge 2 or 3 times before this.
Yeah, for sure.
Just hanging out, looking, didn't have the opportunity. And
Hell, he could have been out there 10 or 20 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's a big possibility. Plus, there's just, again, there's really no evidence that there were 2 people in which.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't you think that if he had been out there 3 or 4 times, he would pass on like having to do this to 2 people at once?
I don't know.
If he gets away with it, because again, man, like the fact that, because when there's a struggle, oftentimes that's when you're going to find the DNA. That's when you're going to find the evidence, somebody leaving something behind. And we're talking about a very short window to make this happen. And so that's why I always go back to somebody that the reason why it wasn't a crime of opportunity, because it just seems so well planned out. Like even the location of it, the way he's walking across the bridge, she's taking the picture from this side of the bridge, which means he's coming. They only have one way to go. And so I feel like he knew that, right?
Yeah, but it still could be that he was just out there.
Saw him walking across the bridge and followed him.
Because a lot of people say there's a 505 and 501 trail. That's how many steps it takes to get to the bridge or whatever.
Right.
Well, there's a bench there. And there's a
Right.
lot of people that think that he was sitting on the bench, because it forks off at that point,
I believe that.
and that he could have, or they could have started walking and he saw him.
Right.
And then I think it might have been Matt that brought it up on his video, that he could have been alongside them on that other trail.
On the 501 and
Now, I think he said as farther you get down, you'd have
it starts to bend in.
Yeah, you'd cut over.
Right. See, but I think I made the point in that show that I do think that he was sitting on the bench, but because he had been acting as though maybe he was, I'll even go as far to say like an 18-year-old or a 17-year-old person, is that when they walked by him, they didn't even think in their head that would have been the person that they're there to meet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he would obviously be like, okay, so they did show up.
Right. Because then God, this is so long ago we did that. But yeah, because we had the young sketch, and wasn't it the thought was that this is the picture they used to catfish the girls, or
possibly, right?
Or if there's two, we don't, still don't know.
Well, and also we talked a lot about the police sketch, right? And the fact that secondhand accounts, like me describing a face to you, well, I'm a super recognizer, so that wouldn't be fair. But like, you know what I'm saying though? Like
he's right, he really is.
I am, yeah. But in passing,
from Cambridge,
yeah. But in passing, is that a normal person on a daily walk in the park wouldn't necessarily probably remember that.
No.
So that's where that second sketch could have came from, right?
Yeah.
And they got to put it out there.
Yeah, I mean, well, they say
Could the delivery have been better?
Eyewitnesses
Yes.
are the worst descriptions.
Right, yeah. Well, we saw it in Zodiac.
Yeah.
We saw it in Zodiac.
Yeah, absolutely. So, who knows? But yeah, I kind of lean towards it. Maybe it was a crime of opportunity. But I do see what you're saying. That had to have been well planned out.
Right. See, but that's where this...
But don't you think he did have to go there previously to know where to take? Yeah,
yes,
he went there, planned it.
Well, my theory was that in each
but
one of those
that could go
locations-
either way. That could still go with...
It could. But
Yeah.
my theory in both the Evansdale and the Delphi cases is that there was an actual kill spot. Because remember, in Evansdale, the bike's thrown down, the purse is thrown over.
Right.
They still don't know where the crime happened.
Yep.
Right. In Delphi, they know where the crime happened, but it's in this area that people walked by over and over again. Right. So I do believe that this person had planned this spot to where these events would take place. But in saying all of this, it kind of starts to move us further away from this guy's personality that we're going to talk about, right? This Chadwell guy.
Yeah.
Because he seems more impulsive. He seems like a dumbass and not somebody that's maybe has the mental capacity to pull off an Evansdale and a Delphi.
Yeah.
Not giving that person credit, but saying...
No, I know.
It takes a psychopath to think that much in advance to do a crime like this.
Right. Hey, New Zealand Mysteries.
New Zealand, what's up?
She gave us $5 super chat. Thank you.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
All right. You're awesome. Thank you so
I wanna go
much.
to New Zealand so bad.
I know. Now we got, $15 for Garrett's chair.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot's passed. And since we did that last show, and so I did have a little bit of a different thinking. And I don't think Charles Eldridge is responsible now. And I got to say, because I don't want to be able to jump on the band, as a new suspect. Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, for sure.
Did it. He did it.
For sure.
But the only reason I'm kind of jumping on it is because he looks very similar. He lived in Lafayette, which isn't that far.
Yep.
He lived in Kokomo for a while as well.
I think he was born in Kokomo.
And so he would have known that area. If I'm not saying he did it, but I'm just saying
he enjoyed hiking.
Yeah, he's an outdoors guy. He liked fishing. In fact, there's pictures, like a picture of him. He just got fired from his job or something. And he goes, I think I'm going to go fishing.
Right.
In the rain.
Right.
So we know he likes the outdoors. And again, that kind of fits with the FBI profile.
Well, I can even tell you too. Like, I was skeptical of all the suspects. Like even in the Matt Sullivan episode, I wasn't necessarily like completely embracing Gabe Ellis. Either were you. We were being almost, I'm not going to say cynical, but we were being critical because that's our stance.
Yeah.
That's where we were at that time when we were learning about the case. And so when this came across the desk though, and I looked at and I've talked to some of the families I worked with during the day, because a lot of them watch the show. And so it's actually fun. His picture in between the two sketches, It's kind of creepy, dude. Like if you go to our Instagram page at life_afterlife_ the show.
Listen to that plug.
Hey. But if you go, I did post a picture of him in between those two sketches.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, it's eerie. Even the bridge of the nose, dude. Look at the bridge of the nose.
Well, you know how the nose kind of softens, like kind of a round little thing going there, and almost a sketch. But again, it's like, you know, it's a sketch from someone's memory. Is it a coincidence?
Right.
That they drew the nose like that, or was the guy, or did the guy go? I remember, you know, whoever
that nose, yeah,
that nose, man. I remember that nose.
Well, and you do recognize distinguishing features, right?
Yeah.
Like I know Cass always talks about my eyebrows, and right here, she's always like, you know, and so like you can see that in somebody's face, but also his MO, dude. Like, and like I was saying to you before the show, like just because Evansdale and Delphi, I mean, think about this. Evansdale is still unsolved, and that's been over a decade, right? Or no. I'm sorry. It's been less than, but we're going on like 8 years at least. Right?
Yeah, it was, God. Anybody remember that? It was 2012, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
something
been,
like that. 2013, I don't remember.
Hey, but in Evansdale, they were missing a longer time. They didn't find the remains for a longer time.
Yeah.
In Delphi, quicker finding
And
the
how
kid.
crazy was it that the girls in Evansdale was just right off the trail the whole time, just in that grass.
Well planned. I mean, I talked about it in that too.
Yeah.
The fact
almost in plain sight, almost like that's almost the
time
best
frame,
place to
dude.
hide something, right?
Same time frame.
Yeah.
During the day when people are working, and
I know,
you know, like me, dude, like I drive so much. Like today, you know, I'm out at Early Wine, and then I'll go to Moore, and then I'll go to Tuttle, and then I'll go to South Oklahoma City, then I come here. And so, and we talked about it in that episode, like, would you notice a hitchhiker on a date? No, I wouldn't.
No.
You know, I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so with Evansdale, we talk about the time frame that this happened is so brazen, but it's also like you're minimizing risk. And so this dude takes this 9-year-old from a block party in his own block.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to link it to Evansdale and Delphi and saying that there's increasingly becoming more unhinged, maybe?
Yeah.
Because a person in the right mind isn't committing these crimes.
Oh, absolutely
So
not.
consistency isn't something like the Zodiac.
And comfortability. I mean,
right.
Which usually that's what happens when in anything that someone does. Yeah, anything that someone does that's bad. Eventually, they get so comfortable with it that they think, I'm never going to get caught, and so they get very, very careless. I got this right. Well, you know, and we can say, well, you know what? No one saw the little girl go into the house, so he would, you know, obviously. Well, you know,
well, dude, and if he would have just said, "You guys need help looking," because oftentimes these guys are helping and looking in the searches. And no, but he didn't. He's like, because he may have been whacked out of his mind in drugs. Where he's known to be a drinker and a drug user, and so we don't know the state of mind he was in when those cops came to his door, right?
Right.
And so, but that's why I'm saying we can't necessarily, when this came across the desk, it's not one of those things where we're like hopping on and being like, oh, it's definitely him. But when you start looking at the details and you start looking at the profile and you start looking at the timing and the brazenness of it.
In fact, I'll be honest, when his name first popped up, I didn't think anything about it. I thought, it's another one.
Right.
You know, it's
right.
They're just reaching, and I didn't really even look into the guy, and I saw his picture and thought, it kind of looks like him. Yeah, but I didn't really look into it. And then, video after video started popping up. I thought, well, I want to watch something about this guy. And then the more I watched it, and like you said, the MO, young girl, torturing, and then we don't know that Libby and Abby were tortured, but we're pretty damn sure.
Well, they were tortured. I mean,
we were pretty damn sure.
Even the whole... Even if they weren't physically tortured, they were tortured in that day, right? I mean, I think it's safe to say that. Like, it's a terrible thing that happened. And what's crazy is you started looking at this suspect and you didn't come to me right away.
No, I didn't.
Because I just want to say it out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we were like, dude, do we want to dip our toe back in the Delphi thing?
Yeah, Garrett and I talked about that because, not saying you guys are crazy, but I'm just saying it brings out the crazy folks. My phone, I got calls. My phone would ring at 2 a.m. from somebody going, I know who killed them girls.
Yeah.
And there was no evidence that they had. There was nothing substantial.
Right.
And I would get tons of calls. Call me back. I know who's responsible for this. And you're like, oh my
Well,
God.
and here's the other thing is the details do matter. But unless you know our platform, so we did get some flack, which you guys know me by now. I'm like, oh, cool. Look at that response. All right.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, the other side of the pancake, Keith, is that I pride myself on working with really, really good families in my job. Okay.
Yeah.
Like family units. And a lot of the dads are like, I don't know what Delphi is, but a lot of the moms who are very caring and loving people are totally into this case. So like, that's what made me think, okay, you know what, let's dip our toe back in. And so, but I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to point out that you took some time to really like think about it before you came to me with it, because
Thank you. Yeah. Because I didn't want to, because it's,
that means something. Yeah.
yeah, because to me, there's like some people really take advantage of this Delphi case. I mean,
They do.
They're
Yeah.
doing it. They're doing it
Say
for.
it, dude.
They're doing it for views. They know that if as soon as they show up, 400 people shows up in their chat, they're
They
gonna get
love it.
They're gonna get 1,000 views, and they're milking it. I feel
Right.
like they're milking it, and I don't want to be one of those people who are just like, oh, hey, the new suspect. I'm gonna, And so yeah, I took a couple of weeks, and I called. In fact, I think we were gonna do another show, and I said, hey,
Check this out.
I kind of checked this guy out, and
Take a look.
he looks kind of good
Yeah. What do you think
for this.
Yeah.
So
Well, hey, go back on our YouTube channel, scroll through real fast, and look at our views, and then you'll see what we're all about.
yeah,
I mean, the reason that we revisited this case is because I feel like we owe it to the people that are with us all the time, and honestly, we owe it to ourselves. We put a lot of. I mean, dude, 10 hours of airtime. First off, and we're not.
yeah,
we're not.
we were exhausted.
Yeah, and that's not even including the research time. So for us to come back and talk about this, I think actually holds weight, right?
Yeah.
Because we've never been somebody that's gone right down and been like, this is who it is, 100%. And so I'm glad
Right.
that we are re-looking at this, because time frame in those cases was a big thing for me. I don't know if you remember that. It was a big thing because in Evansdale, I can't remember, dude, it was in the afternoon, like between 2 and 4 or something like that. When was Delphi? Can somebody I remember you actually mentioned it recently.
What, the year?
No. The time frame of when this actually happened.
Well, the last picture of Libby was taken at 2:07. So
Again.
they think, yeah. So there's just a guessing this happened around 2:30, maybe something
Right.
like that.
So again, okay, brazen.
In the afternoon.
Not a normal time to be committing a double homicide at a park.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Very well. And that kind of, that brings up a point too. This guy's an idiot, right?
Yes.
Maybe he just got lucky. So
yes.
that, I mean, to me, like I'd cut my arm off before I'd hurt a child but man, really, I just, you know what I'm saying?
No, I know. So I'm trying to use that timeline to kind of point to this guy's personality.
Right.
Because, dude, it's been... Okay, so think about it. His brother said... I think his name is Ashley. His brother's name is Ashley. Is that he said that growing up, his brother James was... And he goes by James because his father's name, I think, was Brian or something. Is that he always thought that was his real dad. And then when he was about 12 or 13, he asked his mom, why do I look different than my siblings? And she just flat out was like, this isn't your dad. by the way, this isn't your-" And that really affected him, and it would.
Yeah.
Right? So I get that. Okay. So he starts acting out, becoming ultra aggressive and everything like that. A UFO just went by the house. Oh, dang it.
That's what it sounded like.
Okay. And so then, right, he starts going down this life of crime and being aggressive and wanting to hurt people, both physically, emotionally, mentally. And then in his adult life, all of a sudden, he's in and out of prison.
Yep.
Right? He's in and out of prison. And his mom was hanging on till he got out of prison. I don't know if she was sick or what was going on. She dies while he's in prison.
Yep.
Again, spiraling further and further down mentally. And so the reason I bring this up is no excuse, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, get some help, right? Okay. But if he committed Evansdale and then moves over and commits Delphi, or commits Delphi separately from Evansdale, carries that for what, 4 years now? It's been 4 years.
It's been over 4 years.
Over 4 years?
For
What's
Delphi.
what's that doing to this guy's mindset? Because I think that what we're going to talk about too is that
Well, you got to be a sociopath for one. I mean, I don't.
well,
think,
even to post something like he posted, I think is a sociopathic
Yeah, he doesn't care.
tendency,
He doesn't
right?
care what he did.
Yeah, I know, but the mind is that's why like people like Zodiac and these people that like Jack the Ripper who never wanted like they let
Right.
the publicity, but they never, I guess, like wanted, they died and like without wanting to be caught. Maybe this guy's mind is weak. Maybe it's weaker than theirs, right? And so
Yeah.
I don't think to commit these crimes you have to be like completely insane. I think you have to have mental problems, obviously.
Right. And what I was saying earlier before, I get, cause it hurts me so bad because I have kids and you got kids.
And I work with kids.
Yeah,
Like, I'm surrounded by kids on a daily basis.
So in the middle of this, sometimes I'm just like, I just think, oh,
know, dude,
God,
I know.
it kills me. It kills me. But what I was saying is, we were talking about being impulsive. We thought the bridge guy, he's super intelligent. He planned this out, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, what if he did get lucky? Because if I was going to kill somebody, I'm not going to say kid, I wouldn't do it in the afternoon. I wouldn't do it in a public place. I
know.
So in a way, that's really stupid.
Well,
And we know
out
Chadwell's stupid.
Well, it builds out two different profiles. That's why we're able to still attach this to Chadwell, is because it builds out somebody that's either so smart that they're willing to minimize all the risk, or it builds out somebody that's so dumb that they're willing to take that risk, right?
So how do you tell the difference?
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's-
yeah. Well, and that's I was going to go back to that point. I don't necessarily think it takes intelligence to create a plan like this. Wait, what did I say?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's not a question. It's just,
Okay. So I don't think it takes extreme intelligence to come up with a plan like this. I think it takes somebody either being highly intelligent or somebody that's very simple-minded.
Yeah. I
Because
agree.
this had to be very simple. They had to get the job done and get out without leaving anything for investigators to latch onto.
Right.
And that can be a complicated plan.
So
Complicated plan is always all these moving parts, and you got to do this and the timing of this. So it had to be somebody either highly intelligent or very simple-minded, or just a dumbass and was like, "Oh, we're gonna go,"
Right,
and
right.
impulsive.
Yeah, and it's something I want to ask the chat room because I mean, like Garrett said, we thought real hard before even doing a Delphi show. I mean, we did even when the leaker stuff came out, we didn't do a show on it because it's just, is this person full of crap?
Right.
But there were people totally believing everything that was getting said.
Right. Yeah.
And
that's society today.
Matt, and Matt kind of made when he went to Delphi this past weekend, he kind of made a comment saying, "Well, after I'm out here," he said, "nothing that guy said makes sense." So
Okay. Good.
I was just kind of wondering, the chat room out there, what did you guys watch the whole leaker thing or keep up with that? The person that came on like Reddit or something, and
Right.
supposedly he knew all this information about the crime, talking about that bridge guy acted as a police officer, handcuffed the girls, and that's how he basically told them they were under arrest, and you can't walk back towards the bridge because it's illegal, so you need to go down the hill, and that's where the down the hill thing came from.
Can I tell you why I don't like that one though?
Yeah, and then I'll tell you something that
Okay, go
was
ahead.
on Gray. No, I was
Go
just going to say on Gray's show, this person that he was getting information from said that there were handcuff bruises on Libby, or like little marks bruising around that looked like a handcuff. So
Okay.
now I'm just bringing up what I've heard. I don't know that's and we don't know because I mean, like you said earlier, Gray doesn't know for sure if that's 100%, but he said he kind of read into the guy a little or thought,
Right. For sure.
it seemed like it was legit.
Yeah. Hey, I like what somebody actually said in here in chat.
If I could
where-
read it, go ahead and
No,
read it for me.
He said he's not so. Wait, he's not been caught, so he can't be dumb.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, hey, listen.
Louise, you're right.
No. And we talked about this a lot. And what I said in the past episodes was this, is that I hope it's somebody that's acting impulsively and just in the moment, because I don't want to think that there's somebody out there that's actually just, and I just don't want to, that's out there thinking and planning this kind of stuff out. Like that's too much. And so, and the more impulsive somebody is, obviously, the more
And don't you think also, I was thinking about this, law enforcement, I think every place this Chadwell guy lived, they need to look for missing girls, rape, that kind of assault, sexual assault, and see, if he's, maybe has done this some other places. Also, he's a big guy who would, not a big guy, but he would buy a car, get rid of it, buy a car, get rid of it.
Interesting.
And that was one thing John Kelly said, that serial killers are like that because it's evidence.
Right.
So if you've got, say you put a body in a car or something,
get rid of it.
You get rid of that car.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
And so it's out of the way for law enforcement.
Druggies do that too, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're constantly getting different cars.
Right. It doesn't make you a serial killer.
No, for sure.
And then there's some guys who, and I don't know what kind of money he made, but maybe he could only afford junker cars that only lasted a few months.
I've been there.
Yeah. I mean, back in my 20s.
Corolla. Hey, just get yourself a Corolla.
Yeah, or any Honda.
yeah.
Any Honda is good. It'll last forever. But yeah, I remember.
Okay, that's
the days when I had
it's an interesting point to bring up.
But because of the circumstances of what he's done, now it's a little different.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, let's maybe track down some of these cars that maybe recently were sold.
Right.
They said they were looking for the car at the oh man, I'm so tired.
You're good.
At the old whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's in
yeah.
Delphi.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The car that was there.
Yeah, but like the killer's old car?
Well, no. There was in Delphi. There was a car that was parked at the old CPS building.
Yes.
Child Protective Services.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. I got you.
And so that's why I got to drink more coffee tonight. But so look at his past. Did he ever have like a white, smaller car?
Right, definitely.
Kind of thing. So
well, here's the thing that kind of also was promising about this. Okay, and I'll give you it because again, I'm skeptical as shit when it comes to the Delphi case about everything.
Oh yeah, I am too.
And so the fact that they have come out, some of the police officers, I don't really want to name names because it'll get everybody going, and said that they are that they've publicly said that they're looking into this and trying to connect it with Delphi is kind of big because the fact that they have been just so tight-lipped about everything and generalizing, right? And so the fact that this is out in the open is kind of compelling a little bit. It kind of gives me hope. I'm like, okay, cool. Like they're actually admitting that they're looking into it for this.
Yeah, and I'll even say something Greeno said that that he's he made a statement that Tobe Lesenby said that we're looking at this suspect. Now he said they've never called anybody in Delphi a suspect.
Right.
They've called him a person of interest.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
But Greeno, and I haven't confirmed to see if that was actually what Lesenby said. Yeah. But if he did call him a suspect, then it almost sounds like they maybe have a little more
but there would be no reason for them to release that information. Right? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to be gained for them. They already have enough pressure on them, which is one reason why I believe they're being so tight-lipped. So for them to even leak that out or even for them to misspeak into that direction, there's nothing to benefit from that, right?
Right.
And so besides more people, more attention. I mean, now it's on Inside Edition and it's on this and it's on Daily Mail. So here we go.
Yeah, let's see. In fact, I'm going to try to play this for you guys. This is the family members, the stepbrother and was it the stepfather? I think stepfather as well.
Yes. No, I think it was the brother and the step.
Yeah, I would. So you're just going to get the audio.
Play
if
it
it's
real quick. I'm going to have Taylor plug this in for
okay, yeah. And if it starts doing that underwater sounding thing, someone let Pam know in the chat, and I'll stop it. And I'll basically tell you what they said.
Kidnapping and attacking a 9-year-old girl found chained in his home. He's also being investigated in connection with the murder of 2 8th-grade girls 4 years ago. We spoke with some of his family members who told us flat out he's evil.
He's a monster. Exactly. He is an absolute evil person.
He's talking about his own brother, James Chadwell, who was accused of imprisoning a 9-year-old girl in his basement and is under investigation in the unsolved murders of teens Libby German and Abby Williams in 2017.
Do I think that he's capable of that kind of crime? Absolutely. Absolutely. He's shown numerous times not only to his friends, but his family as well, that he has that kind of evil streak to him.
Chadwell's stepfather also fears the 42-year-old ex-con may be the mysterious figure caught on Libby's cell phone approaching them on an abandoned train trestle in Delphi, Indiana.
Is he capable? Probably. And should they let him back out on the street? Not ever. Throw the key away this time.
Chadwell's brother Ashley says James tried to drown him when he was 4 years old.
He is absolutely capable of killing someone.
Chadwell has been in and out of jail since he was a teenager.
I also just really don't like people. I have dogs.
His body is covered in tattoos. One across his chest says rebellious. But this is the tattoo that's drawing a lot of attention today. Some see an uncanny resemblance to slain Libby German. Look at them side by side. His brother says that's a relatively new tattoo.
I really don't think that he had that tattoo when he got out of prison.
This is a virtual reality reconstruction of the moment Libby and Abby.
Okay, so we'll stop it there.
That virtual reality, did you watch that?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
But I apologize we couldn't show the video portion of it because we were having problems before the show for showing,
no problem.
showing anything. So
No.
anyway, so yeah, even his brother, the stepfather, they're all saying this guy is capable of killing people. Guy's a monster.
Yeah,
man.
no, his brother actually said that when he his friends and his family know, obviously, but that he was an animal.
Yeah.
He just would want to hurt people. He wouldn't want to fight you. He would want to hurt you, break your bones, knock your teeth out.
I wonder if he ever had a head injury as a kid. Because they say a lot of times that will cause violent tendencies.
Yeah, I remember after my head injury, I got flew off the handle super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day. So
yeah, so let's talk about. We kind of went over the picture of the tattoo earlier.
Yes.
But let me go to that real quick.
Yeah, go for
here.
Those shoulders, man! I'm telling you, the way he stands, dude.
Let's go back to that. Yeah, he. It looks like the bridge,
Well,
but again, I hate to say that.
No, because hey, listen, we can have this discussion. It's not an issue.
I know,
Listen,
but I still have the experts going, oh my God, these guys are,
I don't watch any of them. So
I need to.
Hey, so check it out. Here's the thing: is we talked about in the episode. You brought up a great point about his jacket. Is that it looks like he has something in there, and I think what we theorize is that would be maybe a trash bag or a
it could be
a drop cloth.
His kill kit.
His kill kit, yep,
is what I would call it.
Yeah, his kill kit.
That's probably where he had his gun, his rope. If he tied him up, and we don't have the information.
We can speculate. Let's speculate.
Yeah,
it's because I'm glad you brought that up. And here's what I was gonna say about Leaker, because guys, what is it, Leaker?
Leaker,
what?
yeah, Leigh, Lee, Kerr.
Lee Kerr. Okay, I get
Leaker.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
So this information.
A little play on words, Garrett.
This information that Lee Kerr was putting out was saying that Bridge Guy acted like a cop. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing too, is that pulling out the gun. We talked about this, guys. Go listen to our old episodes. We talked about it. Is that to me is way more scary than being like, "Hey, I'm a cop." Turn around. Then you're engaging in discussion. So that's what gave me, when you told me that, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe Lee Kerr. I don't know if I believe that. I don't necessarily believe that he was acting like a damn cop. I think he had a gun. He went there. It's like a guy's down the hill.
But you got to admit it makes sense.
It does make sense.
Because then at that point, you could say, the squad car is over here. We're going to have to go this way because I can't let you guys go across
Put
the
your
bridge.
hands behind your back.
Put your hands on, handcuffs them. And he's leading them, to what they think is a squad car.
And it's a person of authority, right?
Right.
And so
that would be easier. That would be easier to manipulate.
Absolutely.
And so I'm not saying that's what happened, but it sure as hell makes sense.
It does. No, it does. It does.
And then if Gray's, if his little guy is right about the
how do you know he's a little guy?
I don't. Gray's source. He's just a little guy.
He's a little guy.
So So that's possible. I mean, it drives me nuts that law enforcement, for one, I know that people.
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah.
But before we're so ADHD, let's go back to the tattoo real quick, and then we'll carry on.
Okay.
Because that to me,
Shoulders.
what?
I think we need to address, first off, we're not saying people that have tattoos are bad people.
No.
Obviously. And we're not necessarily even saying people that have unique, darker tattoos are bad people either.
Nope.
You know?
I was in the Army. You should see some of my friends' tattoos. Get out of here.
No, and that's what. No, so yeah, absolutely. Just because he has a tattoo, I mean, it could just be.
We love the ink in this house.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've got tattoos. Pam's got tattoos. Garrett's got tattoos.
I've got really weird ones.
All my daughters have all my daughters have tattoos.
Yes.
No, so does someone think we were putting down tattoo people?
No. It just listening, it kind of comes across and
No, but that
If you have a tattoo, get out of the chat now.
Yeah, because see,
there was a comment about the tattoo and I don't know. Anyway, something about choosing. Why would you choose that particular tattoo? I've seen tattoos that look that way, and it is very sad and unfortunate, the resemblance to.
Well, I think the timing too.
Yeah, and the timing, and it may well be exactly what it looks like.
Exactly, and it also would give it's almost like he's got both those tattoos, like Abby and Libby, like saying, "Hey, these idiots don't even, I've got Libby and Abby on my arm.
They're like
they don't
trophies.
even know it.
Exactly,
They're trophies. That's exactly the good word for it. And so he's going around basically, like in plain sight.
And I listen. People that I had a guy dude, Popeye's chicken sandwiches, unbelievable. The guy at the window, but the guy at the window was like,
seemed random.
Sorry, the guy at the window was like, "Is that a ferret?" And I was like, "No, it's a horse on a unicycle." Duh. Right? But
haven't you seen that?
Duh. But my tattoos mean something, and I think that a tattoo like that, when it's planned out on each arm, there's a purpose behind it.
Right.
Okay, so Larry has 4-leaf clovers popping out of his shoulder. Okay, okay, he has a scorpion on his ankle that he just picked off the wall. Okay, some people, but when you have like
one of your sister-in-laws.
Yes.
A paper plane, a pencil.
Yeah, dude, I have an astronaut.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Though.
So, but my point is, when you are creating this art on your arm, there's normally meaning behind it.
Sure.
And furthermore, guys, go look at the pictures where they compare it. I think it's in the Inside Edition, maybe, where they compare both Abby and Libby to each one of the arms.
Yeah.
Then that kind of even puts it into more perspective, because you're like, okay.
And we have to put in perspective of, okay, yes, tattoos aren't bad, but look at what this guy did.
Right.
And so now these tattoos
have
may
different meaning.
Right. So now these tattoos may have meaning.
Right. Definitely. Well, you would have to assume that.
Right. So so it's not like we're just picking some random guy that has tattoos. We're picking a cold-blooded. This girl would have died if the police would not have shown up.
Right.
Just that's all there is to it.
Absolutely, she would have died.
Right.
There's no chance that wouldn't have happened.
So now all these dark tattoos, and then the resemblance to Abby, and then the Libby tattoo. Now it's kind of like, well, maybe.
And the brazenness.
Yeah.
And thinking that I'm so good, I've gotten away with this, I've gotten away with that. Which goes back to kind of, though, he is a bit reckless. I mean, he does have quite the rap sheet. So, you know what I'm saying? Like drugs and alcohol, which could play a major role in the brazenness of this time.
Yep.
Right? He could have been in it because they said he moved away to South Dakota to try to become a better person. I mean, he was into art. I'm not trying to justify anything, but maybe there was an aspect of this guy that he was trying to be normal. And then these, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
When you start kind of putting it all together and you start to see this person form, it is kind of like, ugh.
Yeah,
we should definitely do an episode on this guy. And we can, because guess what? He sucks. So,
yeah.
He's a terrible person.
Yeah,
so
regardless whether he killed Abby or Libby, this guy is a monster.
So he is, free game.
he needs to be off the streets. And hats off to Lafayette
Well
Police.
done. Yes,
well
dude.
done,
Yes,
men. Well
yes,
done, well
yes.
done, law enforcement. That was you saved the girl's life.
I would like to talk to the person who actually was the first one to talk to him, because I wonder if he had like just a feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would also like to know why that house, and if they did like just look up felons or how that worked. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I was curious too. Like I said, I did. I read that the neighborhood had pointed police in the direction of this guy's house. Now I don't know that's true. I just read that on Google.
Yeah.
Or if the police knew about this guy's history and thought, well, maybe we better check this guy out.
Yeah, definitely.
And the thing was, I wonder had he said, no, I haven't seen her. She never showed up. But he told him, yeah, she was here earlier.
Well, yeah,
but she left.
Yeah.
Now, if I'm a cop and you tell me that, I'm coming in.
That's always gonna happen.
Yeah, and so that's
like if that doesn't happen, you're one of the shittiest cops of all time. Like
right, and then the stupidity of him.
Right. Yeah.
Why didn't he? Why do you think maybe he just said no? I haven't seen her.
Maybe
then they really wouldn't have probable cause at that point to come into the house.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
He basically gave him probable cause to search the house,
which points to two things that could be tied together and could be seen separately. Right? Is that like could be under the influence, and everyone right?
Absolutely,
could be under the influence.
Absolutely,
and could be a dumbass.
Yeah.
And the way we can put those together is he could be a dumbass while he's under the influence, right?
Yeah.
And so you could look at it separately. You can look at it
really
together. Yeah. Like regardless of how you look at it, is that this was bound to happen. And I'm hoping that it happened. And I really hope it's him. Like I do. I say that with 100% certainty is that I hope and I pray that it's him.
I wonder if the cops had talked to the tattoo artist.
That's one thing I asked you. I was like, hey.
Because, the thing is, we know that this guy. Here's a deal, though. It's a dildo.
Oh, dude, I used to say that so much in training. I just stopped.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Some of the moms.
We're gonna get slammed just for saying that during this kind of show.
Did you just say dildo in training? Yeah. It's like, but here's the deal, though.
So, but here's the deal. Is like, okay, he's an artist, right?
Yes.
So obviously, probably what he did, if he did kill them, and he probably drew their pictures, took it to the artist.
Yes.
Because the first thing that crossed my mind is like, I wonder if he was dumb enough to take a picture of Libby and Abby to this tattoo artist.
Right.
And go, hey, I draw these on my arm.
That's been a big debate, discussion.
He's an artist. Hey, that's a great point. Because I take pictures.
What was used for the stencil?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. Caldwell. I'm joking. Chadwell. He's a very good artist, actually.
Yeah.
Chadwell.
Don't stop it. You stop it.
James.
Yeah, I'm just tired enough to call him Caldwell for the whole thing.
JC.
I don't want to call him that. That's something Jesus Christ. We ain't comparing him to the Lord.
No, we are not.
So that's something I kind of wondered about. And then once I found out he was an artist, I thought, okay, well
that's good.
Even if he was going to, he would draw the pictures of the two girls and then say, hey man, this is what I want.
That's good because, but here's the other thing I brought up to you was like when I'm getting my tattoos, the reason I get these crazy ones is because to me it's an experience. Like I just like the experience. I get them all over the place, all over wherever I go travel. I try to get a tattoo, and now I have a local artist, so I just sit there and we just like talk while I get a tattoo. And they're like, "Hey, why are you getting a blue whale, or why do you have a fox with a suit on? It's really really weird." And I often I like to talk about it though. I'm like, "All right, let's talk about it." So when you're getting these tattoos, it's never quiet. Like the tattoo artist is like, so I would love to talk to the tattoo artist and say, "Hey, what were you guys talking about while you were doing that?" Because he didn't do it himself.
Right.
The chances of him doing a tattoo on himself with his right hand and his left hand
absolutely
is damn near impossible. I mean, he wasn't that good of an artist.
No.
He was decent. Like he could draw a skull.
He had to brought the pictures. I mean, Yeah. Now he's probably good enough he could do one on his forearm or something like that.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about here, someone did it,
and all the.
But I wonder if I don't know if tattoo. I was reading. There's a really good video where John Kelly talks to a master tattoo artist regarding this case.
Oh, interesting.
And he said, what do you see with this?
Yeah.
And he said, and he kind of said what we said. He goes, well, just because, he goes, I've got a lot of good friends. They got very dark tattoos, but they're great people.
Right.
He said they're not murderers or anything, but but what you got to look at is what this guy did. He said a lot of times these are road maps of the person's of their heart.
Yeah.
Things they have. They all have
Absolutely.
meaning.
Yes.
And so he said, there's absolute reason he's got, blood dripping from the girl's eyes. The eyes are white.
Well, isn't it interesting that the 9-year-old that caught my eye? That I noticed that when reading that the blood was coming from her eyes.
Yeah.
The 9-year-old.
See,
so
and that's
which makes me think that like in the
could he been fulfilling a fantasy too?
Exactly, right. And so
and let's just say that's something he imagined in his mind. Man, I want to strangle a girl till she bleeds to the eyes. Not necessarily being Libby or Abby, but he puts those fantasies on his arms.
We don't know though. Dude.
I know, and then he does the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know that in the Delphi case. That isn't.
We don't know. Right. We don't know. It's strangulation.
It is interesting the roadmap to who you are. Like
that's what the guy was saying. He said it's a road. He says it's a roadmap.
It's completely true. I feel like.
Let's go over the profile
of
what John Kelly had came up with. I know some people don't like John, but hey, he was on a Hillside Strangler case, and that's good enough for me. So he says, number one, he thinks this person's between 18 and 40, or maybe even a little older. And we got this guy at 42 years old. And he also, to me, he looks younger than 42.
He does. Yeah.
So he could fit in that range. Plus, he could actually even pass for that younger sketch
between the meth and the alcohol. He's doing pretty well, man.
Yeah. And he says he thinks whoever the killer of Libby and Abby has trespassing charges at some point. Now, interesting enough, Mr. Chadwell has trespassing. He's got a charge. Number 3, he thinks this person is a voyeur, possibly started out as peeping Tom, that kind of thing. He's a loner and antisocial. Now, so far we're 4 for 4 with Chadwell.
Yes.
Loner, antisocial. There's a TikTok where he's sitting there. He goes, "I don't like people.
I like animals.
I just like my dogs.
I like my dogs. Yeah.
I like my dogs." So, and which bring that back up to me later because I've got something to say about that.
I'll probably forget, but I'll try.
Okay, I'll try to remember. But we're old and we probably will forget. Okay, 5, he interacts with children, would spend time in parks, be involved in jobs that may have some type of interaction with a child, like a janitor in a school.
I think he came to that conclusion because of the guys part, right? Or no?
Do what?
Did he come to that conclusion because of the audio that says guys down the hill, or?
That's a good point because there's a lot of people says, coaches. That sounds like a coach. Guys.
I told you, I say it all the time, dude. I'm bad. I had to break my habit. Yeah.
Right. So, and I don't know, but probably.
Okay.
So he surrounds himself with children.
Right.
Pretends he likes them. He has, number 6, a prior violence charge, which we know, boom, he's got that.
Hey, good with children. Man, I was telling, pause really fast, is that before we even started the show, and guys, you all know I have daughters, right?
Yeah.
Guys are going to kill me for saying that on air. She's so protective of them, and so am I. But
we'll never find them.
I was saying to you, though, like, dude, to get a 9-year-old girl in today's society to come in to pet a dog like that. Yeah. That's not like an easy, I don't think that's a necessarily easy thing to do. I'm not saying it's hurtful at all. I don't want anybody to misconstrue what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's proven that he has the ability.
The stranger danger thing has been very big in the last 20, 30
and I'm saying this
more
guy,
so than when we were, you and I were
definitely,
kids.
Dude. So my point is, I'm trying to bring a point to bring it back to this.
No, I understand.
I just wanted to make sure everybody understood.
No, I get what you're saying.
That's a weird kind of thing that he was able to do. So
he says, this guy's a very visual person. Artist. He probably likes to take pictures.
Interesting.
Artist again. And now I'm just going to say this isn't on the thing, but this guy has a lot of pictures of camping out under bridges like a troll. So
does he really?
Yeah, he's got there's a video. I'm just going to say social media because I don't know which one it was. It could be TikTok or not, but he's under a bridge. He's like, hey guys, and he's just kind of talking. Thunder's going on. It's raining.
Yeah.
And he's under a bridge, and he's got a tent. So he's
said like a troll.
Yeah, like a troll. That's what I call him.
Trolls. Yeah.
He's a horrible troll.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting about the bridges. Wow.
Yeah. So and again, like
weirdo,
you brought up a good point. Visual person. He's an artist. So we are, he's hit about every point on here.
Yeah.
We don't know about the interaction of children. If he hung out in parks, if he acted like, like he liked kids, we don't know that.
We don't know that. Yeah.
We don't,
because he didn't have friends.
Okay, narcissistic personality. Post on social media with bragging. So now I know a lot of. I got friends who brag about, hey man, look at it. But that's one of the things he did put down.
Hey, really quick about the kids thing, going back to that, it's still in my mind.
Yeah.
Because it's hard for me to think about this guy as like somebody that would be good around kids. Because I work with kids on a daily basis.
Yeah.
The picture of him inside the tire with the dolls.
With the little dolls around him.
And I think there's other pictures of him with dolls, even the ones that he had. That's just kind of a weird thing. So,
well, you could almost say that
he is a kid. Like, not.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to?
And also, it could be. It could also say, "Hey, I don't like people. I'd rather have these dolls."
Right. Yeah, these are my friends.
Yeah, because they won't say hurtful things to me.
Well, they let me do what I want.
Right.
A couple things came to mind for me when I saw that picture. Number one. That looks like something some of the frat guys I knew in college would do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, it was like, maybe, maybe not. Number two, the grotto at the Playboy Mansion. What a fantasy.
Yeah.
Here is my trailer trash version of
yeah,
the grotto at the Playboy
yeah.
Mansion.
Yeah.
I got the big truck tire and all my little blonde Barbies.
Yeah, and they accept me for who I am because this guy's insecure.
Oh, definitely.
He's very insecure, and that's where that narcissistic stuff comes out, and the bragging because he wants people.
When you find out your father is of 12 or 13 years, that's a devastating blow. I'm not justifying it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for your psyche and because we're all in search of like our self-identity. That's a lifelong thing. We've talked about it constantly. So you can see where somebody like that would have that embedded in them. Jesus.
Right. Okay. Did I say impulsive behavior?
Nope.
Okay. Number 9 was impulsive behavior. That's definitely impulsive.
Did you read where he hurt the kid driving around drunk at a campsite? He had kids in the back of his car. Again, another kid thing. I mean, he had a bunch of kids in the back of his truck in a campsite, wasted.
Well,
and one flies out and
how old were
these
hurt? Were these like
they were younger kids? Yeah.
Okay, well then you could say he hit number 5, interacts with children.
That's what I was about. Well, so that's why I keep trying to wrap my head around how this person that we've talked about all evening could possibly interact with children and get somewhere with it. Because I interact with children on a daily basis, and so I'm just trying to I'm trying to wrap my head around it. And so, but every time you read a point, it's like, oh, wait, remember that time he did that and played with the dolls? Yep. Remember when he was playing with the kid? Like, okay.
Right.
Psycho. Okay.
So I guess we can say he's 9 for 9. Number 10, likes porno and probably enjoys violent porn.
Okay. Well, we can't. I don't know.
We don't know that. So, but he does mention porn.
He obviously enjoys violence.
Well, hey, and
that's kind of
and speaking on that post where he talks about you like me, I've got duct tape.
Well,
that would point towards violence and relationships.
Well, did you see the video of him on social media where he's going like, so what do you all you little girls out there shaking your butt and your taco man he goes, I don't need that. I got Pornhub.
Okay, wow.
So he did say that. So, he admitted to porn, but I mean, a lot of people watch porn, doesn't make him a killer. Violent porn still doesn't make him a killer, but it's odd,
Weird, yeah.
Yeah. Number 11, outdoor person, likes camping, hiking, and hunting. He's there.
Check.
Low self-esteem.
Check.
Covered by false confidence.
Check.
Yep. Visual bragger would show off his hunting kills, fish he caught, and would go on to tell you how great he was at these skills.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that was basically John Kelly's profile. So he hit basically, since we go back to number 5 with the interactive children, he hit that. So he hit all 13.
Yep. Well, would he brag? I mean, that's like the least important one, but he said he would take pictures of the fish he got and stuff, and
I don't know if there's videos of him doing that, but he just watch the
he's
guy.
braggadocious.
The guy is cocky as hell. When you watch these videos, he's like he just comes off like I'm a badass.
I hope he's getting his ass beat as we talk about it.
Oh,
right now.
hey, when he goes to prison and the other inmates find out,
Yeah.
they're going to put him in, solitary.
Put him in solitary forever.
Yeah.
Hey, don't forget to read this, by the way.
Okay, I will.
You won't.
Yeah, I will. So anyway, Chadwell, he has a jury. Oh, and this is funny. It's like he pleaded not guilty
To Of course he does.
But
dude.
but here's the deal: is like we found the girl in your
He's
basement.
a psychopath.
He's a
dude.
psycho, yeah.
And how traumatic.
But that almost
to
goes
make
off
everybody-
on the narcissistic thing where he thinks maybe I can get off on this because I'm.
or he knows that he's not. He's gonna get found guilty, but he gets to punish everybody, dude. He has to make the jurors sit through it. The lawyers have to work on it. The judge has to see it.
Yeah.
The families have to endure it. Because
Right.
most of the time, when you commit a crime that you know you're guilty of, if you have any remorse whatsoever for the family and the victims, then you'll plead guilty, and get it done.
Right.
Exactly. What a douchebag.
Yeah, so he's going to put everybody through
No
this.
offense. I don't know if you're.
Yeah,
supposed
so
to-
his
I don't know if I can
trial
say that or not.
trial is August the 10th, 2021 on this.
It's coming up. That would be here quick.
Here's just again, this doesn't make you a killer, but he put this on social media. He says, "Some people say I'm a mean person, but it's not true. I have the heart of a sweet girl in a jar on my desk." So, who the hell, that's not even
Okay.
fun. That's not even funny.
Okay. Coming across that in general, like if I'm on social media, that's obviously an unfollow. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Like just not knowing the person,
I'd
right?
be
Like,
curious to see how many followers you had.
okay, here's the second thing. Sitting at a bar,
Yep.
hear that. Definitely leaving. Or knocking someone's ass out without them knowing it, just from behind. Pop. Okay. Him saying it, knowing what we know, is way beyond weird, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about a little girl. Does it say little or does it say
The heart of a sweet girl.
in a jar on his desk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one thing he said, and this has nothing to do with young girls, but another sick kind of thing he said, he goes, "I like my women over 30 and leaking fluid."
What?
Yeah, that was another post he had on there. So, yeah, leaking fluid.
Okay.
Yeah,
I heard
he's.
you the first time.
I know. I'm just saying.
It's insane.
He's absolutely
Well,
insane.
I mean, when you tie it all together, and again, this is me being hopeful, right? Like I guess it's weird to even say that, like in this case. That's why this case is so weird, dude. But it's this profile of this person. We know he's a POS, right? But man, it is quite compelling out of everyone we've talked about, right?
Yeah.
Like Gabe Ellis, I was never. We talked that out. We talked it through.
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
like that. But weird thing that he is from Kokomo.
Yeah.
And people remember responding like, "Oh man, Kokomo's got this scene, dude. Like it's kind of crazy in Kokomo sometimes."
Yeah, I talked to, may have been 3 months ago, I talked to a guy who was from Kokomo. Actually, he came in was going to be drumming for one of our shows. We flew him in from Indiana. He lived about 50 miles from Delphi. He was saying Kokomo. He said, "Yeah, that's a shady town, man.
That's crazy.
Very shady. Lots of drugs, tons of drugs, gangs, violent place."
Yeah. Well, and I always thought and we talked a lot about this again, about the Gabe Ellis thing. It was like, okay, it's okay to talk about him because he's a piece of shit too. But also like the whole conspiracy thing, we're always like, these people aren't gonna like cover up for like this guy, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing about James Chadwell, okay, is that he's not out there necessarily like that. Like with Gabe Ellis, he had a bunch of friends, dude. He was like, they're all in cars together. They're like, man,
Right.
This guy's all alone.
Yeah.
So that was always my thing with Gabe Ellis is like, dude, somebody's gonna roll over.
Yeah.
Like somebody, you know, because he had his friend in prison as well for unrelated charges. He's going to want to get a lighter charge.
Yeah.
At some point, someone's going to be like, okay, FBI is coming in. Like, FBI agent's kind of going to vouch for Gabe Ellis.
You think of Gabe Ellis's friends are probably, and again, I'm not trying to be mean here, but lower income, and you waive $250,000 before the other $100,000.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to roll.
Right. Yeah.
But that's something also John Kelly brought up. He said, you know, no one has came forward, even with the $225,000. He goes, but we know Chadwell, he has no girlfriends that we know of. He has no ex-wives that we know of. He's a loner. So there's no one. And he's
insulated.
And do we know that he even has friends? So there's no one that he would have said anything to about if he killed Libby and Abby. So therefore, that's why he's saying maybe this is Chadwell, and no one has said anything.
Right. Well, and I mean, think about this too: is the awareness this case has brought to social media platforms. Obviously, he was active on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if he's a loner and he's got time, that could connect him, because I still believe, and I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I still believe that this was a planned out crime. Delphi, because let's go back to Delphi.
Okay.
Delphi and Evansdale both were planned out crimes. So I'm just saying, if he has time and he's savvy, social media savvy, like he has proven to be, because he's been so vulgar and such a dipshit and just posted whatever he willy-nilly feels like, is that he could be covertly trying to set up things like this. Luckily, that people are way more aware of that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think, like, I know, like, for sure Kennedy's never gonna, like, well, I shouldn't say never, but she's well aware of the possibilities of what can happen on social media now.
Right.
I don't think that was necessarily the case early on, right? And so I'm just saying that he could have played that role. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
and maybe the reason why he had to get this 9-year-old is because people are now aware of it, and it's harder to draw people into these kind of situations.
Right.
Girls aren't necessarily like, you know, meeting at parks.
He
during
saw
the
an
day.
opportunity,
Yep. Right.
and
had to fulfill his desire. We talk about that all the time with these kind of
but
guys.
he, you know, I mean, he must have been. If you think about it, he must have been outside. I mean, obviously, she didn't come to his door. And
Yeah.
So he must have been out there with it, you know, or just walking and say, "Hey, I got a cute dog in the house."
And
You
it's a
should
freaking pit bull.
Pit bull.
Yeah.
Who
Don't
ended
say
up?
anything bad about pit bulls. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, bit the girl. She got.
I
dog
know,
bites
of
marks on her.
course. Yeah.
But that's the thing, man. And the thing that bothers me now is that the DNA. I've heard a couple of YouTubers saying that they think it's probably not really good DNA
Right.
that's going to prove anything, which is going to make this case even harder.
When you told me that
Now-
earlier, I was devastated.
Because unless you get a confession, then you're going to have to get circumstantial evidence. And
we say that too, and there's advances. There's still a lot of advances to be made.
yeah, I know.
We're taking care of, you know, evidence.
But it
better.
almost seemed like they were saying they weren't even sure that the touch DNA was the killers.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
Which would point to it being planned out.
I mean, I hope to God they do have it, and for the sake of the family, I hope it's Chadwell. I do.
Yeah, and for the community, we always talk about that, man.
And
the families, and the community,
the family, the community, and to close the door on this case is, you know, it's about time.
It is.
It's we're over 4 years, video, audio, and I know I'm sure the police are working really, really hard on this. I mean,
You know they are, dude.
yeah, of course they're 24/7 probably on this
Every
thing
day. I
because
think
they're
they
getting
have a
they're
task
getting
force.
they're getting a lot of pressure to solve this, and they want to
Well,
solve
that
it.
goes back to that point where I'm like, dude, why would he? It was Tobe Lesenby that said that they were tying, or that they were
That's
looking at
been
him.
they've talked. I mean, Tobe was actually questioned in the beginning.
I know.
As being a suspect.
But he's like, you gotta like.
But there's some people. Yeah, there's some people out that I've read, and I don't believe this at all. That Tobe had handcuffs. He could have handcuffed the girls. He was, he could have came off as, flashing a badge, or something. And I don't believe that. To me, Tobe looks. I'm not saying anything bad about Tobe being a little heavier, but he looks way heavier than what the bridge guy looks like.
Here's my point to it though, is that like, I don't think. I can't say 100% certainty it's not him. But okay, let's just take him off the table. It's not him.
Yeah,
But him
yeah.
as somebody that's been in the heart of this case for so long,
Right.
should know better than to say something that would tie Chadwell to Delphi, unless there was something substantial that's bringing them together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This isn't just some like new deputy that came in and was like, hey, we think this guy is the one that did Delphi.
Yeah.
This is somebody that's been in. He's
And
a
they're-
veteran of the case.
Yes.
And so it's weird.
And and they searched Chadwell's house for hours and hours.
I'm sure they got
How
his
do we
PC.
know? Because from the rumor is that there was a couple things missing from the girls. How do we know that they didn't find
That's what I'm
something?
saying. Yeah.
They could exactly. They
Yeah.
could have found a necklace. They could have found, or they found fibers.
Right.
In the house or something. We don't know.
Pictures on the computer.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
So-
there could be, we don't know what is tying that together, and they're not going to let us know, of course, right now.
No.
But,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to kind of highlight that point that for me, they're almost certainly, unless he just is so tired, because we know, dude, we're exhausted from dealing with that case for 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
Imagine his life. And, I mean, so it's possible.
Yeah, it's
that
every day.
It's possible that he misspoke, but you would think after this amount of time that he would be trained not to misspeak in regards to this case, because we were. I remember after the second episode, we're like, oh, shit, we better like get our facts together.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting here talking.
Yeah.
This isn't official. And so for him, there has to be something. I'll be so curious to see what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they announce something in a couple of weeks that they got him and this is the dude, and we can shut the case on this thing and shut the door. Yeah, because these poor families. I can't imagine what it'd be like if your daughter was murdered and you had no answers, absolutely no answers. You have no idea who did it. You don't know why they did it. It's
horrifying.
Absolutely. And these people, every single day they wake up, they probably think about their daughter and what happened. When am I going to get answers?
I know.
So I hope it's Chadwell.
I do.
And I gotta admit, I really lean. I know a lot of people, a lot of the Delphi YouTubers think it's not him. I will say, I listened to the voice a couple times. I thought, his voice is a little high. Then I hear other parts of him speaking, and I think, it's pretty close.
Yeah, and
But hard. But again, we only have down the hill. That's all we have.
Everything's situational too. Like
and
the way I talk here and the way I talk at work is like completely different.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm
Did
saying?
you
if I want
see
to be assertive, I can be assertive.
Did you see the voice analysts that they did Chadwell's and they did the Bridge guys?
I didn't see the actual voice, but I did it myself, like just listening back.
Yeah, and like every voice person who's analyzed this, he goes, we just don't have enough recording of the Bridge guy to compare to any of these suspects.
Well, like somebody was saying earlier on YouTube, it was like Miss Ladybug or something on one of the videos you were watching. It was like the guys down the hill sounds like 80% of the American men. You know? And so that is one part of the case. I mentioned this to you before the show. I was like, man, I just wish they would like release a little bit more. And you're like, yeah, but it could be like screaming. It could be a number of reasons why.
Well, they have reasons why.
Yeah, they do.
Like you said, it could be him, hitting one of. I mean,
there could be a multitude.
It could be,
right.
So it could be really bad. So they're not.
But I do.
Release
if
that.
there was more, I do wish that like of just plain talk.
Yeah.
Like assertiveness or anything that they would release just a little bit more, because it does. It's hard to tell. But also with that being said, like if that was somebody I knew, I think I would be able to tell them that amount of words.
Yeah. Really?
So I think I would. Like if it was, if you look like them, if you walk like a duck and you look like a duck,
must be a duck.
Must be a duck. So
to me, I think the only thing they really got going is they'd have the voice, but the video, the way he walks, the way he holds himself,
right.
And again, I know it's so pixelated. I mean, if you blow that up, all you're getting is little squares, and you really can't just zoom in on facial features. But we can tell he has broad cheeks, and Chadwell has broad cheeks.
Can you I don't want to mess anything up, but can you pull up actual Bridge guy? You had Chadwell, like I think it's the first slide. It's just
hang on.
Right there.
Right there.
Can you there's been other pictures I've seen where he almost looks like he's walking kind of bow-legged.
Well, you're saying he stood.
Well, he does. Yeah, he does. I was talking about Bridge guy.
Oh no,
I'd be curious
right
to
now
see
on
the way he walks.
Yeah, I don't know.
Man, Missy Beavers 2.0. Jeez, talk about gait and walking.
Yeah. Oh my god.
God.
Yeah.
Dude.
I know that whole thing. That one's going to be another interesting case when that gets solved.
if it
to,
does.
to see if the husband or the father-in-law actually had something to do with it.
I think I think that's one of the ones where the further you move away from it, the harder it gets.
Yeah.
I think this one is the further we advance in technology, the closer we'll get, or somebody will just mess up.
Mm-hmm.
That one we know is planned. This one we can't tell if it was planned or opportunistic, right?
Yeah.
Like with the Missy Beavers one, I think it's a pretty steady consensus that one was planned out.
Right.
I mean, even in that case, though, sorry to divert, but
That's
even in that case, we had people that were like, "Oh no, the robber was going in there just like a SWAT team member," and we were like, "Why? Why would you do that? Why would you?"
Yeah, that case is that's
a bizarre one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one, and it's a very interesting case.
It is.
And, you know, again, kind of like Delphi, they got video. They have no audio.
That's why we did that.
But I mean, they got this person completely covered up. Where at least Bridge guy, you got a little bit of the face and kind of see, you know,
good by her to do that, dude.
Yeah, but
okay, I have to throw in real quick.
Okay.
Papers on the desk are moving because of the fan.
Oh no!
Doug was asking if they were moving or if we're back to paranormal. So
Yeah.
No. We'll be back to paranormal next week.
it's the fan.
back to paranormal. No, yeah, we got Patrick says computer fan and a demon.
What's up, Patrick?
Hey, Patrick, what's up? And again, New Zealand Mysteries. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you in a while. I guess
Yeah, good
you're
stuff,
not
man.
into the paranormal, are you? So we've been doing paranormal
We
shows.
creep her out, dude.
Probably so. We creep a lot of people
Yeah.
out. I think probably just the way we look, we creep people out.
Yeah.
All right. So is there anything in the chat we need to address before we call tonight?
I'm gonna say one more thing before we call it a night.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen: is we're gonna get done here after a badass show.
Yeah.
By the way, good job.
Good job.
Good job, Pamela. Well done. Is that we're gonna get off air and we're gonna be like, okay, well, hey, we're gonna do aliens or Sasquatches or Bigfoots, right? But what's really gonna happen is we're gonna start getting comments immediately after the show, and some of them will be divisive, right?
Yeah.
And so, I could see us doing a Delphi part 2. What if that happens? What are you gonna say to that?
I don't know what else we could talk about. And that's something the regular Delphiers, it's like I kind of like, God, you're talking, what is there new to talk about? But at the same time, I respect them for just keeping it,
Yeah, I do too.
alive.
I do too.
I mean, what we probably could do, if there were any comments that someone wanted some questions answered, we can either answer it in the comments or at the beginning of whatever show we decide to do, we could maybe discuss Delphi for 5 or 10 minutes or something.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Because here's what's going to also happen is all of a sudden it's going to be
You're
like,
going to leave.
no, it's going to be like, Garrett, I got a bombshell. Like 3 days from now, you're going to get an email
I
and there's going to
hope
be
so.
a bombshell.
I hope so.
Okay.
And I hope it's a bombshell that says this guy's guilty.
Yeah.
And if he definitely, if he turns out being the bridge guy and he's a killer,
Hell yes. We will get on air. We will have the best show ever.
yeah, we may do 2 or 3 shows at that point.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to follow it, of course.
Yeah.
But hey, while we got everybody on here, I just want to say this, Keith and Pamela, is that the way we started this show so long ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys, for those of you who don't know, I was telling this story earlier today because a family, and they actually, Allison may be watching this, is that her father had to get stents put in his heart. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's elderly, and so I was telling him about your situation, right?
Yep.
And I was like, this guy, creative, he's a musician, he's a hard worker, and I was like, I think that what happened was he couldn't perform for a while, and so he's like, hey, I got my creative tendencies, they got to burst out, and so they bursted out in the form of the show called Life After Life, and I was like, great name, immediately, awesome name, well done, Keith.
Thank you.
And then before we know it, like we're sitting across the table, we're talking in the haunted house that somebody asked me about, and I told him, hey, it's for sale. If you want to, okay.
Yeah, if anybody wants to buy my haunted house,
It's for sale.
It's for sale.
Yeah, just hit us up. So we're sitting there. That's a great conversation. We ended up talking about the Manson family and the JFK assassination, and we didn't really talk about the paranormal stuff yet.
Yeah.
And then you came over to the house, and that's when you had your, what is it? What kind of handgun do you have?
Which one?
I think it was one of your 9s.
My 9mm.
Yeah, you had your 9 on the desk, and I was like, dude, badass. Took a picture, sent it to Larry. Look at Life After Life meetings, right? And so this thing started rolling, and it got awesome. And so for those of you who haven't seen our paranormal stuff, it's a deep dive. Like that's the thing on the Instagram page, and we're starting to get some momentum on that thing. So go back and look. I take good care of it, okay?
Yeah.
And I noticed I keep saying deep dive. And I'm like, dude, that's what we're doing, even on the spiritual side of things. Like in the reincarnation episode, one of my all-time conversations I may have ever had.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows.
That was one of my favorite shows. The Bigfoot one, where we revisit
Art Bell's
and Bugs,
the Bigfoot killer.
Dude, that's great. But then the follow-up I thought was another one of our really good ones. Okay,
It was.
And so a lot of those shows are interesting, but it's the same feel. We're always investigating, right? We're always really pushing the limits. And so when we come to Delphi, that's what we bring to it. And so if people don't like it, then they don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
But it's always fun, and it's always compelling. So I appreciate you creating the show.
Well, thank you.
Well done, dude.
Thank you.
And happy Mother's Day to
And
Pamela.
again.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you're my partner in this. I couldn't do it without you, as Art Bell says.
Yeah.
So
Awesome, dude.
we will announce next week's show
Shortly.
Yeah.
I got to put it on IG.
Yeah. Instagram.
Instagram,
I'm
baby.
learning. I'm not
Yeah.
I think I'm on Instagram. I don't think I have.
That's the only social media I'm on. No YouTube. No. I mean, I'm on YouTube, but I don't like watch YouTube. So yeah.
And you're not even on Facebook.
I'm not even on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook, but I barely even post anything on there.
Yeah. Love Instagram though, dude. It's cool.
Yeah.
Go follow us Live After Live.
All right. Well, we want to
love
say
you guys.
we love you guys. Thank you so much for all the super chats that we got.
And the support, just always.
I'll try to figure out how we actually cash those in. I'm not sure where that goes.
Hey, this thing stayed on. Did you super
It
glue
did.
this?
No, you didn't. You haven't put enough weight.
Don't.
Well, when you lean on it is what pops out.
Don't even start back mouthing.
But that's
right
what
now.
Garrett. That's what we're gonna do with the donations. We're gonna buy you another chair. But he loves the
You
fact.
want 1 million views? You want 1 million?
Views. Beat me to death right here, and you'll get your 1 million views for sure.
We're great.
But anyway,
Hey.
yeah, we haven't knocked the UFO
Pam,
off, Pam.
Ha ha. Episode 2, we didn't Roswell.
We made it.
Yes.
But she's sitting there patiently. She goes, I know
She
they're going to
does.
knock that
Yeah,
off.
It's a matter of time.
It is. And she's right. It is.
Hey, really quick, I noticed you got Cass up there. Look, Cass.
Cass
Yep.
has been up there.
I didn't notice. Sorry, Cass.
Got a picture of my daughter.
My eyes go right to the Beatles.
Cass has been up there.
All right.
Love you guys. Thank you so
So
much.
what do you think? Have we had enough?
Yeah.
All right. Great show, you guys. Thank you. We love you. We will see you soon. And I'll announce probably next couple of days what show we're going to do. We have meetings usually right after the show to discuss that. And let's get it off of that.
Get it off that creepy guy. Let's just
Well,
go with
you know,
us.
we-
Let's go with us.
Well, we can't. Well, you know, we could.
Yeah,
we
let's go
could.
with
We
us.
could. We just have to kill the mics, and we can do that. Is that what you want to
I
do?
want to see that guy.
All right.
Love you guys.
Thank you guys very much.